How's it going, nerds? Good to see you. Welcome back to Cities Skylines. Certainly hope you're having a good one. I do apologize for the delay in this episode, but I'm a little bit sick at the minute, and with the world being the way it is, you can never be too sure. So it took a couple of days. I do want to play some Cities Skylines, though. I am still a bit sick, and that's got me a little bit worried. So if there aren't any videos, or rather, if there's a day where there isn't a video, you're just gonna have to bear with me. I don't know, I'm not gonna be able to get to a doctor. I'm just gonna have to see what happens. I doubt it's anything serious. I've not been anywhere. I'm self-isolating. We're doing the lockdown thing in the UK, so I'm probably fine. So I'm a little bit sick. I'm sorry for the delay in the episode, but here we are. Let's get back to Nerdy Bay, shall we? Also, yes, this is another awful shirt. Yes, I own several more. So I've made a couple of small changes since the last episode. I've gone ahead and changed a couple of the highways a little bit. So what we have over here is a road that comes straight down to here, and that's your way into the city from that section of highway. Over this way, the exit is still up on this road, which I thought was fair enough. I thought it was an interesting way to do things, and I know, there's like an interesting back and forth on these highway entrances / exits that I do. And it's the funniest thing because I'll go into the comments and I'll see someone be like, hey man, I really like those intersections. They're really cool. And then literally the next comment is someone being like, I hate them. They're terrible. You should feel bad. And honestly, I don't know which one I would side with. I mean, they work for the time being. They won't work when we have a lot of people in here, but they work right now, and that's kind of what's important. What I've also done with them is gone ahead and changed. I think I've changed them a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I haven't changed them, actually. I've seen a few people saying that I'm building them as though we have left-hand drive traffic, but I feel like I'm not doing that, but I probably am doing that. It's whatever. It's no big deal. Maybe I've changed them since the last episode. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a stressful weekend is what it's been. Anyway, today what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get us up to 6,500 people. That'll get us a new tile, and we can also get up to high density buildings, which is kind of a big deal. We also get metro, which is kind of a big deal as well. So that's totally a thing we want to do. But before we do that, I want to have a look at fishing, because fishing can be upgraded. We have access to the good old anchovy fishing harbor and the salmon fishing harbor. Yes, salmon. I'm not saying it because it's correct. I'm saying it because honestly, it's kind of fun to say. It's one of those things, you say it wrong and deep down you know it's wrong, but it feels so right. Salmon. So basically what I'm going to go ahead and do is get rid of these two fishing piers over here. I'm going to go in and get rid of these fishing lines right here as well. And what we can do is throw a couple of the new fishing harbors in here. So anchovies, for example, it can just go wherever, really. I think we'll just throw it right there. And then the salmon one can go right in there as well, and that'll be fine. And then we just need to put some new lines in. And honestly, that's going to be quite easy as well. Anchovies especially, we can just go, 10 by 10. On this one, we can just go, I don't know what distance we're going to go exactly. We'll do this. So we'll line these up like that. We'll have this go straight out in that direction for a little while. We'll have this go straight out in that direction for a little while. Maybe a little bit further because I totally can. And that's anchovies. Which, by the way, I realize with me up in the corner where I am right now, you guys can't see the overlays. I promised I would deal with that. I'm not gonna move the camera though. I'm just gonna do this. There you go. So anchovies are the yellowy one. Salmon is the pinkish, or the I don't know, whatever one, the peachy ratty one. Shellfish is the pink one, and then tuna is the blue one. So anchovies we're sorting now with that sort of yellowy color. We'll put that down there. And then salmon is all over here, and there's a lot of it up in that river as well. So what I think we could do is just have, I guess, the boats go up here. Or we could send them up to this river here, which might not be a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's have a little bit of fun sending them up there. It's going to be slightly tricky to do that because it's actually, I can't move my camera out that way properly. But we'll do this, and we'll sort of just have them loop around that island and come back out this way, I guess, and all around here and do whatever they need to do. Not gonna be a very efficient line by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a line, so it'll presumably do the job. We'll bring this into here, and we'll get that lined up as best we can. That looks pretty good to me, so that can just go straight to there. And then this one over here needs to come over that way as well. So let's zoom out a little bit further and just bring this down this way, around everything into sort of there. And we'll just sort of loop it across the other line, kind of a similar curve and all that stuff. And then just bring it around and see if we can line it up over there as well, which it looks like we might have a little bit of trouble doing. So let's see. That looks like a pretty good line. That's going to run straight into there. And that'll get us some beautiful salmon, which is exactly what we want. Now we can have a little look at these. And I did notice that there is like a fishing route efficiency stat, which is currently at 0% on this one. This one's also at 0%. This one is at 90%, which is pretty good. But I would like that to be higher. I'm just not going to stress too much about it. Also, we're getting some water complaints right now. Interesting. Why is... Okay, so the water complaints are because the water towers don't have power. The power complaints are because, I guess, these plants aren't enough, which is 3 coal power plants. Now, we have $139,000. To get ourselves these, it's going to be 50,000 each. I think 2 oil plants would be better than 3 coal plants. So let's get rid of those. Let's do some bulldozing. And let's just throw in an oil power plant right there and right there. That should solve our problem. That did solve our problem. So that should keep everybody relatively happy. We're not going to need to worry about power for a little while, which is, you know, kind of ideal. We're also getting really close to 6,500 people, so let's get that done. Let's start putting some high density in here. I have some space reserved for it. I'm excited. Let's do it. And just like that, we are a big town. We've got the 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer tile. We got campuses. We got high density stuff. We got the metro, which I think is going to be huge as well. So let's do it. Let's get some high density in here. I've got some areas reserved for offices, so we're going to be going right in here with some offices. We're going to be going right up here with some offices as well. And you know what? We're going to D-zone all of this is what we're going to do. D-zone all of it, turn it into high-density residential. Let's go ahead and D-zone everything around the sides as well and turn all of that into high-density commercial. And this is going to be our first area of high-density anything is what it's going to be. I'm also thinking... I want to move this industry out of here because I think it would be really cool to get like a campus right in the middle of what is essentially a city center. So that would be kind of cool. I think middle square here could maybe be turned into a park sometime because, I mean, we're building a nice little city here. It is obviously just a big grid and it is vanilla. It is unmodded. You know, it is, by the way, if you're ever wondering, I realize I've explained a lot of very basic things in this series, but I often take it for granted that people know a lot of the terms I'm talking about. So when I refer to vanilla, because I know people don't necessarily know this, it's different for everyone. I think for some people, like vanilla City Skylines is unmodded with no expansions. For me, vanilla City Skylines is without mods, right? That's pretty much another way of saying unmodded, right? So vanilla City Skylines doesn't necessarily lend itself all that amazingly to doing a lot of detailing, but I would like to make this look nice. You know, I really would. And I guess while we're talking about that, I want to talk about Dorchester for a second, which again, if you don't know, was the previous City Skylines series that we were doing. And in this instance, I say previous because it's still not working and I don't know that it's gonna. I'm still going to try, but Dorchester might not come back. You know, there's something broken in it. I don't know if it's a mod that's still broken or if it's just the saves maybe weird, but something's still weird with Dorchester, unfortunately. But I will keep trying. I will keep trying to fix it, and we will hopefully get back to Dorchester sometime. Anyway, back to Nerdy Bay. We're having some garbage problems, and we kind of need to fix it. And I'm torn. I'm torn because part of me is looking at this and thinking, let's do some industry over by these train lines, over by this factory, all that good stuff. And part of me's thinking, we don't necessarily have the money for that. Speaking of money, actually, taxation, you guys need to be 13%. I want my money is what I want. So get that up to 13%. But yeah, I'm thinking that we might want to save up some money before we start building over there. So at the very real risk of causing some serious traffic problems, let's throw in a few of these incineration plants. Just for the time being, just to bring that garbage processing up a little bit. That brought it up pretty well. It's not got it to exactly where it needs to be, but I think we'll manage. I think we'll be okay. We're also seeing some of these offices complaining about not enough workers. We don't have enough well-educated workers. So let's have a little look at that. We haven't got very good elementary school coverage. We have one elementary school. Fair enough. We have no high school. Interesting. We have no university either. Okay, well, that'll be why we're making a lot of money. Let's go ahead then and let's get another elementary school in here. Maybe we'll do... We need more public transport as well. Let's do an elementary school. I don't know. Right there is actually pretty good. It fills up that space really nicely. So an elementary school there is going to be good. I think over here as well would be a really good spot for one. Can I squeeze it under there? No. I could squeeze it right at the end there. Where else could we do one? Can we get one here? Let's do one there. So that'll give that neighborhood an elementary school. That neighborhood gets an elementary school. Capacity's up to 900, which is pretty solid. It's gonna need to be higher though, because we did just start putting in some high density buildings. So let's do right here as well. And that'll give us 1200 on the capacity for elementary schools. In terms of high schools, we do need one for these offices. The offices are going to keep abandoning themselves until we get high schools in here. So maybe what we could do is go into this tile here, this whole space, take out all of that zoning, and maybe in here we do a high school, right? And I'm looking at the big one. I'm thinking that the big high school would be kind of cool in there. Really turn it into a proper high school space. Bit expensive, quite a large footprint, but I like it. I do like it. So let's also do a little park in there. And you know what? We'll keep the commercial buildings there. I just realized I was thinking about getting rid of them, but if I do that, the high school is gonna be looking right out onto some industry, and I don't really want to do that. So let's just turn this into a park. Let's get a nice park area going here, and we'll just have something beautiful around the high school, just so it's not completely miserable. So what we can do, main park entrance there. We'll do a side entrance there. We'll do a side entrance there and one there. And I'm not going to do any over by the industry because I just don't think we need it. The only reason I want these entrances is so I can nicely surround the high school in fences and just make it look a little bit nicer. That's kind of the goal here. So that fence is going to come up to here and there. I think what I could do is be a little bit cheeky and do something like this and do something like this and then connect those with a nice bit of path there. And I don't know if I can get fences right along that, but I guess we could find out. I can bring a fence up to there. I can't go right along it though, which is a shame because it'd be really cool if I could. If we had things like, you know, if any of the anarchy mods, we could do that. But unfortunately, we don't have any of the anarchy mods, so we can't do that. What I might be able to do though is this. Now I'm not gonna put I'm not putting an entrance there, but no, that's not gonna work either. Never mind. I think the only way we're gonna get fences there is to put entrances, and I don't want to do that. So we'll just have fences that kind of dead end, I guess. You know, they can go up to there, and that should be all right. And they can go up to, you know, there, and that should be all right. And over here, they're not going to do anything. That's fine, right? It's just a little thing around the high school to make it look a little bit more, make it look like it takes up that tile. That's totally fine by me. We'll let the game run, we'll let the simulation run, and everything will be okay. These guys are going to be complaining about workers for a long time, so I think, honestly, I'm just going to de-zone all of the offices there. These guys actually aren't complaining, so maybe we do... No, we don't actually have any well-educated or highly educated people working here. So I think we are just going to have to get rid of the offices. They'll just keep complaining. And we'll give it a little bit. We'll let people kind of age up a little bit. You know, we'll do what we need to do to get people educated. And I guess in the meantime, we can go ahead and look at either metro or trolley buses. Because I do want more public transport. And I think right now all we have are, yeah, buses. I mean, the buses are doing okay, but 321 people doesn't seem like that much. So, I mean, maybe metro. I don't think trolley buses would be a better idea. I'm feeling metro. I am feeling metro. It's quite expensive, especially the elevated one, 30,000 per station. And it also takes up a lot of space. I don't know what to do here. We're gonna have to figure out, maybe the metro lines could be like a really long line we do or something like that. Maybe. I think we're gonna have to figure this out. Oh, by the way, I've just realized you can see that back there. That's my face. You can actually buy one of those at my merch store. It'll be in the video description, is what it'll be. You can buy that. It's not high quality at all. It's just funny. Like, the pillow's nice, but the print is low quality because the image was low. Look, if you want to sit on my face. Yeah, FBI, I'm coming. I am noticing we're having a fair bit of crime around here, so let's have a little look at that. Ah, that'll be why. We have one little tiny police station, which is completely full. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a little police station up this way, and I think we'll throw it right about there. And that should solve a lot of those problems. Fire coverage is pretty bad too, so let's get a fire station opposite, and then medical is pretty bad too. So let's get a little medical center just in there as well, and that should keep everybody relatively happy. We're not getting any money, man. We are really not getting any money. Maybe what we do is have this area here be for residential as well. We have a lot of demand for industry, but I just think we kind of need more people, and you know, we need a bit more money coming in. We have good money coming in, but we need more money. Also, that is a lot of people waiting for buses there. That is a lot of people waiting for buses. Can I modify a bus line in base game vanilla city Skylines to like have more vehicles? I totally can. So there's only 5 on that line, which is interesting. Can I, let me put like, let me double that. I don't usually do that. I wouldn't usually double the number of vehicles on a line, but it seems like with the number of people waiting there, it might not be a bad idea to have more vehicles on the line. So that seems pretty solid. What about here? Not that many people waiting for the pink one. What about down here? Not that many people waiting. What about the red one? Not really. There's not really many. Oh wow, the pink one actually could use more. Okay, let's modify that line as well. Let's go up to 10 vehicles in that line too. So both the pink and the purple line have more buses, which will hopefully help those out considerably. Admittedly, it's not really helping us right now, which is great. Not sure how I feel about that. Can I maybe, I mean, it'll get better when the buses filter into traffic, but let me move that stop along a little bit so it's not right by an intersection. I love the people. They're like, oh God, we gotta get over there. Like, can you imagine the bus stop just suddenly moves while there's like 40 people waiting there? Just everyone legs it. Great. Are we having water problems? We are having water problems. Okay. Well, fair enough. We can do something about that. Let's, let me see here. Let me do this and throw that there. Might as well just get another little water tower. I'm trying to stay away from like either dumping sewage into the water or taking water from the water. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Oh wow, this was actually really quick. We got 9,000 people already, which means we have access to the train, which is fantastic. We can do high-tech housing as well, high-rise bands. We got monorails. We've got the Metro monorail train hub. We've got the Metro intercity bus hub. We should do something with intercity buses. Have we got that option right now? Let's have a little look here. So buses, intercity bus station, right? And then we got the intercity bus terminal. Which one's smaller? I feel like that's a lot. Oh, okay, so that's the larger one. I feel like a bus station could be a really good idea, like in here. I don't know how well it'll do for us, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like a bus station would be a good shout right there. That's some pretty busy stops there, you know? And maybe have the purple one come over. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get a bus station in here and see what happens. We're bulldozing a neighborhood. It's fine. We got high density housing going in. They won't mind. In fact, you know what? Let's No, let's not just go all in on high density yet. Let me get this thing though, because I want to play around with it. I've not done too much with all these hubs and all that stuff yet, so I'm curious. Let's throw you. I'm thinking right there, right? Let's throw you. Oh boy, you got to loop around in a weird way is what you got to do. That's fantastic. Yeah, so what do? You go, what do you do? Oh, you sort of loop around in a weird way. Okay, that's probably fine. What about you? Can we have you come over here as well? Yeah, you'll loop around in a particularly weird way. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. But I think we're gonna have to let it be. I think is what we're gonna have to do. We'll try it. We'll see what that does. Probably not amazing things for traffic, but we'll see what it does, right? Having a central hub seems like it'd be a good idea. Where are you all going? Where are you all going? Where are they? Are they going to the next stop? No, they're going there. Oh my God, are you all going for that? I love it. I love it. That's so good. All right, so we got a good number of people waiting in there. I'm curious to see how it goes. I mean, I imagine it'll be relatively popular, so we'll see what happens. Let's throw a little bit of commercial next to it as well, just to fill up the space. And honestly, I'm quite surprised we got 9,000 people that quickly. I really am. Let's have a look at education then. So we've got, so high school hasn't really kicked in yet, right? We've got 7% of people are well educated. I mean, there's a few down here, but most people aren't. Elementary schools are barely working. High school capacity is not good enough, and university will get there eventually. But I think we're probably in a spot where we can start throwing in some offices again. We're starting to see the effects of education take place, I think. It'll be fine. We'll have some offices up there. We'll get rid of the demand and everything will be okay. You know, now that we have a little bit of money, I do mean a little bit, I'm gonna try something kind of weird. And so this is like my biggest criticism of these above ground metros is that they take up so much space and that you can't put them over roads without something like Move It, which is obviously a mod and we're kind of staying away from those. They take up a lot of space and they get rid of a lot of zoning, but I want to try something with them here and I want to do one there. And I'm going to do elevated because I think it just looks cooler. I want to do one there. I want to do one. I'd like to do one in there, but I don't have the space. So we'll do here instead. And then I want to do one over here. And I don't think I'm going to have the space to do that without doing a bit more road. And I'm basically going to have elevated metro go the whole way down through the middle of the city. And I don't know how much sense that necessarily makes. I'm also thinking we're going to have to, we're going to have to do a little bit of elevation changing here because, yeah, that corner is not going to lend itself well to elevated metro. So we'll take all that out for a second and we'll just start leveling the ground here a little bit. Doesn't need to be anything, I mean, I say it doesn't need to be anything crazy. It's a pretty drastic change, but how do I don't like that you can't put them over roads. I kind of get why they've done it that way. I think if elevated metro could go over roads, it would completely get rid of the point of monorails. And I think it's fair to say most people, I might be wrong in this, but I feel like most people would probably go for monorails over, or sorry, metro over monorails. I don't know. I might be making that up. I might just be assuming there. And you know what they say about assuming. I don't know, it seems weird. It seems like a weird choice to not have elevated metro go over roads. Because that's like the big thing. You see it in like, is it New York or is it Chicago? I'm thinking of one city or other in the US where metro, like I don't think it's New York. It might be New York, but whatever it is. You know, it's kind of the thing with like, when you think of surface level metro, at least when I think of surface level metro, I think of it over roads, right? Like I think of it elevated above the roads. And again, maybe that's just me, maybe that's just, you know, movies and all that stuff that are kind of giving me that impression, but it's weird is all I'm saying. It's kind of strange, it's kind of weird, but it's whatever, you know, it's not the end of the world, is what it is. Now let's see, let's get those connected together. This bit here might be slightly tricky because I think we're gonna have to change that slope, but that's doable. So we'll connect those together and we'll have this, we'll have to do this slope slightly differently. So what we can do, I think, if it'll let me, is use the slightly lower incline here. That's 10, 11, that's 12. So that's 10. I can actually go to 6, so that's perfect. We'll delete you. We'll bring this a bit further. Interesting, it's not gonna let me do that. Okay. Can I go to 9 on this? So 1, 2, 3. I actually can. So we'll do that. That's fine by me. We'll bring it in this way. We'll do that. You know, slight incline into a bit of a steeper incline. Bit weird. Might be able to do it slightly better, actually. If we go 10, 1, 2, 3. Maybe there. So 9. And then that. Oh, sorry, no. We didn't want to go 9. I'm an idiot. I want to go 9, 1, 2. And then 1, 2 there. No, not going to let me do that either. It's picky. It's picky. It's picky Skylines is what it is. So we can go a minimum of 7. And then that's 10, 9, 8, 7. That's fine. That'll do. It's not perfect, but that'll do. That gives us the metro that we wanted. So let's just go ahead and run a metro line up and down there. And my thinking is that we'll eventually just have a big old metro line going up and down the middle of the city, which I think would be kind of cool. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll just expand that as the city grows, and it'll be this massive thing just cutting down this massive road, which admittedly, you know, begs the question, why get the metro when the road's right there and you can drive? But it might cut a little bit of the of the traffic, you know. It might get people wanting to use it. There's actually people already wanting to use it, which is fantastic. Looking down this way, already people wanting to use it, which is fantastic. So that seems like a win to me. All right, so we've got a really big amount, large amount. We've got a lot, whatever. We've got a lot of industrial demand, and I kind of want to do something about that. Or I want to start getting ready to do something about that, because I don't know if we're going to do it today. But what I've done here is I have gone across and connected, you know, this side over here. Well, I've built some road over there. I went across and connected it and then deleted it because I want to do a bridge here. So that's 21, 2, 3, 6, I want to say. So 10, 1, 2, 3. So 10 and 3, 13 is the midpoint. If I raise that up, well, actually we can't do that. So if I go 10 and I raise this up until it's about level, which is roughly there, and I go on this side and I go 10 and I raise that up until it's about level, which is roughly there, we do get a little bit of a bump in the middle of that, but I think a bridge there looks kind of cool. I think it makes sense. And I think what I might do at some point, I don't know why I'm tilting my head so much. I can look to the side normally, but I'm deciding that I'm going to just tilt my head this way, which is actually really uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm thinking that we'll have a bridge there, and there's the makings of a little river here. We might turn this into an actual little river at some point and have it go underneath that and through the middle of the city. I think that'd be really cool. But the reason I want to do this is because I want to continue this road essentially all the way over here. I want that to be a road that is essentially the backbone of everything we do, because we're going to put some more metro on that as well. But I'm also thinking that, let's say, let's change this a little bit. Let me get some of that money back. So from here, we'll go, what is that? That's 40, 50, 60, I'd say 70 units, right? Let's do a little, let's say something like this. So 20 down, 20 that way. And then what we could do is basically this. And that right there is going to be, I think, like a 45-degree angle. Not a 45-degree, a 45-degree angle? Whatever it is, 135? But this will be a 135-degree angle right here. Sorry, it's not 45 at all. 135, which is a nice sort of angle to work with there. And that gives us a really nice road that just runs right down this part of the island, which is, again, completely perfect because it gives us this space over here that we do want to do some stuff with. Also gives us a nice turn to play with in terms of the metro, and also means we can follow a similar angle with our highways, which I think will be kind of a big deal and kind of a good idea. So let's have a look at the highways, and let's go, I don't know, 30 there. Let's turn on road guidelines so I can do this properly. 30 right there. And I guess what we'll do is use some normal sections here. So we'll do I don't know, 20 by 20, and then bring this over this way. We could do a curve. We probably will do a curve for the highways. But my thinking would be, I mean, this will need to be done slightly differently. But I think that's roughly the distance we want to be. We want that to come up to, well, we can just do this actually. Bulldoze the excess, bulldoze all of you, and then turn it all into sections of highway. Which should be pretty much, is that going the no, that's going the wrong way. There we go. So something like that. I mean, it works. It's not perfect, but it works. What we can do is go from this spot and go, you know, 10. We can go from this spot and we can go 10. We'll go straight across both of those, bulldoze everything in the middle, and then we can turn that into a nice curve is what we can do. So from here, we want to go like that. From here, we want to go like that. And that seems nice. That does the job. I'm thinking down here, we could do the same thing. So let's do, bring that down to ground level. We'll bring it right down to ground level is what we'll do. And we'll go, we could do 20 by 20, honestly, but I think we'll just do 10 to keep it nice and simple. So 10 and 10, bring it in, bulldoze everything, and we'll just turn it into a nice little curve. And again, it's going to be the backbone of this part of the city. It's not the backbone of the entire city, because we're going to do some stuff over there. Speaking of over there, boom and boom. We're getting some more tiles is what we're doing. But that'll be kind of cool, I think. That'll work out for us. I think it'll do some good stuff. What I'm also thinking we could do is, let's bring these highways over a little bit, because I think we're going to want to bridge over the river, right? We're going to want to do that. So let's bring the highways over to here, and let's go back that way. And let's go a little, you know what? These actually should be completely parallel to everything. So let's just bring these right over to here. Right, so bring it right over to there, bring this right over to there. And you know what? Let's do an intersection in here. So let's tear out all of that bit. Let's throw another one of, actually, what about one of these? A clover leaf might not be a bad idea. You know, throw it right in there. It gives us access up that way at some point. It gives us access to sort of bridge over the water. I think a clover leaf right in here could be an interesting idea. Let's do it. Let's just do a clover leaf. We'll just get it done. I'm not going to sit about and think about every little detail. We're just going to do it. We'll see what happens. This will give us access to an industry area over here directly onto the highway. This right here, what I'm thinking we do is we go and say, let's do, let me turn off guidelines. So I said turn off guide. I think I'm turning numlock off. There we go. So we'll do guidelines that way. We'll do that way, and we'll come straight down. So that's a nice little 45 there. We'll turn the guidelines back on, and we'll do, let me see here. I need this to line up perfectly. By the way, I mentioned the numpad there. I'll explain that in just a second, because that's another little thing that I recently discovered in City Skylines, actually, that I don't know if many people know about it, but you can actually, let me see, those are going the right way. If I go into options here, you can go to key mapping, and you can say toggle snapping angle, length, grid, road guidelines. I've got those on numpads or keypad 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I hit, I mean, if I bring up a road here and I bring that up, if I hit numpad 1, you can see road guidelines turning on and off there. Really useful. I didn't know that was a keybind until like a couple of weeks ago. Which I'm probably really late to the party on that, to be totally honest, but I genuinely didn't know that was a keybind, and it's one of the most useful. It's just a little thing that you don't really think about until you find it and you're like, oh my god, how did I live without this? So just little thing that you might want to be aware with City Skylines on PC. It's a very useful little keybind to have. I can highly recommend it. So this road here is essentially gonna go over the water. That's my thinking, right? I'm thinking this entire thing is gonna come out over the water. I'm thinking what I'd like to do with it though is bring some land out like this, so make like a cliff for it. I don't know if that would be a naturally existing thing. Obviously, it doesn't exist on the map by default, but in the world, shall we say. I don't know if it'd be a naturally existing cliff, but I like the idea that there'd be that like cliff support for the road initially, and then it turns into a big bridge and goes over the water. I think that'd be really cool. This right here, is going to have to connect somewhere. And my thinking would be that honestly, we come off of this road right here, or maybe we come off a little bit sooner. That actually, interestingly, has a weird break in the zoning right there. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's redo all that zoning because it shouldn't have that break in it. I'm not pleased about that. So bring it down to there. We don't have any weird breaks in the zoning. So let's do this, right? And let's do another one over here. And that'll be where our 2 sections of highway go. So we'll have the entrance to this area go into this road is what we'll do. And that doesn't line up. Oh my God, no. Oh, that's bad. Oh, it doesn't line up perfectly. I mean, of course it wouldn't. Of course it wouldn't line up perfectly, but that's gonna annoy me to no end. Oh my God, okay. That's bad news. I'm not happy about that. I might, oh, I'm gonna have to do some stuff here, aren't I? Okay. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Let me turn off guidelines. Let me go 10, 11, 12, elevate, and we're gonna do this. There's gonna be a little bend in it there. Just a little bend in it that I don't like, I don't appreciate that it exists, but we're gonna have to have it. That's just the way it is. This other section of highway can go, you know, straight over, no problem. So it can go to there. It's gonna come over to, this might actually have to be lowered a little bit. So let's bring the height down a little bit and try and keep this nice and relatively level. So to about there, I want to say, and then straight in like that. That one's not level either, so either there or there. I think it's gonna have to be like that. That's fine. But that'll give us a way in and out of this new area, which is exactly what we want. This will give us a way over the water, which is gonna be really important. Gives us access to train lines, which is really important. It doesn't do anything about the demand that we have right now, but it does give us the foundation for a new industrial area, which I think is gonna be a really big deal. So let's do a little bit more work just really quickly before we wrap things up for today on this this industrial area. What I think we'll do, so what distance is this? This is what exactly? So it is 2, 4, 45. So if we do 20 there and we do 20 there, we could do something like that and something like that. Obviously a lot of wasted zoning in the middle there, but that's okay. We'll do this and we'll do this. And then off of those roads, we can just go like this and we can just go like this. And we can fill up the area with some really good zoning, which is exactly what we want to do. Again, going to be a bit of wasted space in there, but we can do some very specific zoning if we want to. So I think that's perfect. I think that'll be a great little industrial area. It'll give us exactly what we want. We'll extend these out a little bit further. Bring that to maybe there. Bring that to about there. And I like it. I do. I like it a lot. I think we can get some paths in there. We can get some good crossover stuff going. We might want to maybe limit ourselves a little bit. Because thinking about it, we probably want to go that far and that far. And then if we do more areas in the middle here, those can be separate roads. But that seems like a pretty solid start. Also, I don't think we need that. I think we can leave that area relatively open. I like it. We're going to have a good little industrial area down there. Plenty of power, plenty of paths, a good public transport connection. In fact, I know we said, you know, that would be like the last thing we do, but we can get a little public transport connection, not right in the middle, but right there. And that's a pretty good spot for it. We'll get some paths in there. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And it's going to be a beautiful road, backbone down the middle of everything, highway connection down to everything. I'm excited. And I'm going to loop the highway around as well. I'm going to bring it right across the water. We're going to connect it over there. It's going to be mwah. It's going to be mwah. Exactly that. Just mwah. Am I doing that right? Mwah. That's weird now. I've made it weird. I've made it weird. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. That face in the background is a bit... It's daunting. The reason you can see that is because I'm using the pillow that usually sits in front of it. But I kind of like it. I kind of like that being there.